Hey y'all. So I just wanted to this video is gonna go up like right away. So I'm actually in the process of editing a video about the meat birds that I bought a few days ago. Did I lock my door? I don't usually lock. I did. I don't usually lock my door until I'm finished getting all my stuff out. But hold on. I wanted to just kind of tell y'all about what I'm about to do. Probably not going to be able to record me doing it. So it's more going to be like an informational thing. What happened?
You have to issue 9 because Sophie hit the balls up.
Oh, Lord. Baby meltdown. Okay. I'll take you through my junkie house. There is something that I wanted to share. And it was what I'm about to do to prepare for fall. So of course I've talked about over and over again pulling up part of my garden that is pretty much dead and preparing some space for fall planting. So what I plan on doing tonight, and again, I don't know if I'm going to actually record any of this because I don't have any more space on my phone. And so it'll be kind of hard for me to record that much time because it is going to take some time. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do now, which is I got these plug trays from the local nursery along with some more of these. Now, I bought some of these last year and the domes for them. And really, I would like to invest in some that I don't have to buy every year where I can just keep using the same ones over and over again. Unfortunately, with the way things are financially, I can't afford the really, really, really good ones that I want. And then the ones that I can't afford, they still don't last as long. So I refuse to pay extra for those and still not get the amount of use I can get out of it, and would still have to eventually buy more. Maybe not every year, but I want to get the ones that I won't have to spend money on for years to come. Like I've known some people who have some trays that they've spent a decent amount of money on, and they've had them for like 5, 6, 7 years already, and they're still very good. So that's my goal. But for now, these are $1. They might be $2, $1.99. And I do get good use out of them for that season. But what I don't want to do is, because what happens is with these, they can get holes in them and then they don't hold enough water. Like the water will spill out of them, and then it's not really bottom watering anymore because it's draining out before the plants can absorb it, or the soil can absorb it in the trays. So I just went ahead. I have some, but I just went ahead and bought 2 more because I didn't want to just not have what I needed for this evening. I don't plan on going back out today. All right, so after over explaining all of that, what I'm trying to do tonight is I'm going to take these plug trays, this tray here. I also bought another dome. I don't know why this butterfly is just adamant about being here. What is it that I have that you want? You're beautiful, but I don't know. And here's this buddy just hanging out. I don't know if you can see it back there, but okay. Weirdness. Anyways, so I bought some of the seeds that I'm going to start. So some of them I'm going to start for just myself, and then others I'm going to start for the farmer's market because I did have some people that were asking for like college starts and stuff like that. So I'll start some extras. I have a pack of like mixed kale. They are for microgreens, but because we don't eat microgreens. there was a whole bunch in one pack. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plant each individual seed. I have no idea which kale it is, but we eat all of the kales. So for me, it doesn't matter which ones come up. We're going to eat it anyway. The ones that I want to sell at the farmer's market, because I want to make sure that I'm knowing what I'm selling people and not having the same issues that I had with the tomatoes and the peppers when the twins changed the labels. Those are going to be the ones that are like in these packets that are just for those things. So here's one thing I'm going to be planting: mustards, curly kale, some collards. So I got Morris heading collards. I got some Bates collards. And these actually have, like, these packages were actually, they have a lot more. Like, if you can see how thick that is. Versus, like, this pack of mustard greens is like, this is it. This little part down here is all that's in there. And I'm assuming, well, number one, the brand, but also they sell like collards in larger packs. Like I even got some Georgia collards here, and this was the even bigger pack. And you can save these seeds from year to year, just keep it in a cool, dry space. But that's what I'm going to start for the farmer's market. And then I also have some Swiss chard, red and white. And these are going to be in my personal garden, but I might actually start some extra ones to sell. I just don't know if anybody else eats them. I did not get any bok choy seeds because they didn't have any. I think I might have some in the house. I have to look. And then while I was at the nursery, they had some seeds that were on sale, 50% off. And the reason they were on sale for 50% off is because it is basically out of season. So what happens is they have these seed packages, and they are on the back. They'll have, you can't see that. They'll have the date that they are supposed to be sold by. So usually it might just have the year. This one actually says like 12/31/2022. So legally they have to sell the seeds within the year that they are packaged for. But that doesn't mean that the seeds are bad. Do not throw those seeds away. You can keep these seeds and plant them next year and the year after. There have been people who have planted seeds that have been saved for years. The germination rate goes down, but what's the worst that can happen? You just don't get, you might get 5 out of 10 if it drops to 50% germination. Whereas if you throw the whole thing away, you get 0 out of 10. So keep the seeds in a dry, cool space. I think I've said this before in a video. I have little envelopes. Like if these become too damaged to actually keep, I have little envelopes, little brown envelopes. I think they're called like coin envelopes or something like that. I can't remember. And I put them in those, mark them what they are, and I save them in a box that I keep in a cool, dry area. So I bought a few of them. They were 50% off because they're not going to be able to sell them next year. And so they want to get something for it. And they have overstock. So they're mostly tomato. And then I also have a lemon jalapeno. So that's something too. But that's really it. I also, I know I went over this in the tomato starting video, or starting, I think it was tomatoes or peppers. You don't have to get seed starter. You can use potting mix. However, you want to make sure it's a potting mix that's well broken down, doesn't have a bunch of stones and rocks and stuff in it. For the purposes of this, because these plug trays are, like, the holes are very small, right? I went ahead and bought some starting mix. I love this starting mix. I bought this. And the reason for that is because in the potting mix, it does have some larger chunks of wood that's not broken down and stuff. And it's very hard to find one that doesn't have any chunks in it at all. I won't, if like one little teeny tiny piece of chunk ends up in that plug, that's all it's going to hold, is that chunk of wood. It's not going to have any room for dirt for the seed to actually germinate. So for that purpose and that purpose alone, I went ahead and bought some seed starting mix, because I wanted to make sure that by me using this, so I got 2 of these trays, and each tray holds 244 plugs. So I'm going to be planting 488 seeds, which is good for me to start that many at one time with less space. Because if I had to start them in something with bigger spaces, like I do have these, and these are going to be what they will be put in to go to the farmer's market. But in order, I could have started 2 in each one, which I really wouldn't have wanted to do, because then I would have to thin them, which means I would lose some of them. But if I wanted to start 1 in each one, or even 2 in each one, this takes up way more space than this. So the reason for doing it this way is, number one, I can start way more seeds. So the ones that I'm going to put in my garden, I'll just pop them out of here, stick them in my garden, because the garden should be, the spaces that I am preparing within the next couple of weeks should be ready by the time I want to transplant them out of this. So I won't have to put them into any of those. And then these I'm going to use, of course, to take to the farmer's market to sell. But I don't want to have to start like 50, then have to start 50 after those, and then have to start 51. Like, I want to start them all right now so that they'll all be ready. That is the reason why I'm using the starter mix. However, if I was just starting them in regular trays that have more space, I would be starting them in potting mix. So I think that was enough information for today. I'm going to go ahead and upload this one, and I'm going to continue to edit the other one with the chickens, and hopefully I'll have that to you guys within the next couple of days. But thank you so much for coming back and checking with me here at Royal Roots Homestead. And until next time, be blessed.